everyone, it's Teresa. How you doing today? Did you have a good weekend? You doing well? I hope so. I'm going to go through a few supplies that you're going to need to do this with. We're going to have some fun. We're going to open up a new world of acrylics for you. You're going to need something that's a steady surface. Now this is just plexiglass that I have. I broke off a corner of it for a project with my dad. But you're going to need, you can use a stiff piece of cardboard, a cookie tin, whatever you have. You're going to need something that's non-stick. I prefer using my old mat because Rose gave me 2 of the other mats. So I'm using this old mat. And here's the best part. Walmart has these paints from Delta, Folk Art, and such for 2 for $1. Now, I have a lot of these in my stash, out in the kitchen in my little whirly thing. And I noticed some of them are getting kind of dry and sort of crumbly, and it's like, better get these used up. But they don't really perform well on paper. This is what you're going to do. Are you ready? I made this. Now, this is an acrylic skin. It's fun, incredible, and you can do many things with this. I'm going to show you how to play with this. So this is thoroughly dry. You're going to see the back is shiny because it was shiny on the mat. This took a full week to dry, okay? So if you're impatient, you're going to just have to hold on, okay? So what I did is I poured in, and then I went and marbled it, and I'll show you how to do all of that, okay? So this is what you're going to make today. This is going to be your fun, alright? Put that back up there. Now, you're going to need something to pull through your paint. And I use just a plastic spatula. If you have a wooden skewer, popsicle stick, pencil, by all means, please do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your old paints, you're going to shake them up. This one's kind of, I can tell is kind of, let's see if it's watery. See that? Like that? It's where it's getting kind of chunky. Don't worry about that, because I know how we're going to play with it. See, they're getting down to the bottom. And it's really not a waste to play with your stuff like this. It's just really fun. I guarantee it. You will enjoy it. Okay? I took the label off one. I tend just to open them up like I do with my others. So there's our greens. And you don't have to worry about going around this in a specific manner. If you make mud, it's fun. Make a tree bark. Find a frog prince and give him a kiss, and he'll turn into a full-fleshed Romeo, and you can be Juliet. Don't take the medication to die with. That's not cool. So you're just going to go around. Now, the reason why I'm going around that is I want to protect it from some of the other colors that I have. And just use a variety of colors. Now, how thick you want this, you don't want it too thin. If it's too thin, it's not going to cooperate. If it's too thick, it's going to take 2 weeks to dry, but you'll still have fun. Okay? See, this here is kind of getting on the old side. And all it is just the craft stuff. Okay? So what I'm going to do is continue playing around with it, like this. And I'm going to keep adding some paint. Alright? Take your time. No worries. And I recommend you always go to the center of your stuff. It'll be much easier that way. Now you're going to hear banging. My neighbors are being stupid again. That's normal. And I can't help it unless they bang their heads against the wall, which sounds like fun. Alright, here we go. So I'm just putting all kinds of colors down. This one's going to be a little eclectic. And then you'll see exactly how much fun we have when we're done. Now you probably won't see this week, but I will play with the other skin that I made. I had prepped in advance, hard to believe. New lighting shows a lot easier, I can see that. And I'm going to go in and just kind of keep adding some colors. This one's going to be really fun. Add some lighter colors here. This one's really getting thick. See how it's getting thick? Don't worry about that. Don't you worry. Okay. I'm going to continue just putting these out in spots. And your mat will wipe right up. I was going to say your map. It will wipe right up and pull right off. So what you're going to need to do for the first few days is you're going to need to let it really sit a week. You can see this one's probably gone already. So what you're going to need to do, I can't even get it open, is you're going to need to make sure that it's pretty much all dry. Okay? See how that's coming out thick? That doesn't bother me because I'm just going to put it in there anyway. Okay? In fact, I might put a little more in there. Like this. And pull it off. I'm going to put that in a bin. I'm going to take, sorry for reaching in front of you like that, a baby wipe and get it off my hands. Put the lid on. I've got 4 more colors to add. Oh boy, this is going to be a pretty one. And the reason for the stabilizer underneath of it, yeah, you're seeing neon now. Oh, neon. This is super neon, by the way. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look at this. That is beautiful. And I don't almost look, it is pearl. I'm going to say that looks pearl. Pretty. Okay. And I'm going to take this other blue. Yeah, this one's really thick. I may not even be able to get any of this out without making a mess. Oh well. It still has its uses. I'm going to go into this pretty color. Again, add more of that. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of this. Yep, a little bit of that. I'm going to pause the video, wash my hands off, and I'll be right back and show you how you're really going to play with this. Okay, loves, let's have some fun. Since I used that lovely little tool there, I'm going to go in to my other one that I have. Now we get to have fun. Now you're just going to pull through. Now you're going to have some chunky bits. Don't worry about that. They'll dry inside. And you're going to keep working with this. And you're going to see some areas where you want to add a little more white or a little lighter color. So since this is a very pale, I want to call it lilac, but it's called Enchanted. Let's add some more of this to the inside. And then we can play some more. You can go in and do swirly bops. Just don't want to overmix. Now there's a word of warning, alright? Over the edges here, you don't want to leave them too thin, because you will break it. Breaking is fine. But you want to leave so it's one whole piece so you can pull it up and use at your disposal. Alright? Now I don't put these in a bag or a jar or anything when I'm done making them. I leave them as they are on top of a bin. So I'll keep the, what am I trying to say? The plastic underneath, I'll keep that there. And when I want to use it, I'll just, cut a chunk off of it or die cut it or whatever. Decorative scissors work great on this. Now as you can see, I'm just working with a pattern. And I can see where I want more color, a specific color. So I'm going to go in and just drop it in there. Like that. That's really pretty. That's working for me. And I don't think there's enough green. Not that color of green anyway. I'm going to go back in with more of this pearlized color. And like I said, these bottles are very old. And they're inexpensive. And my mom bought them with me. And I've been hoarding them. And when you hoard paint like this, you tend to get a thing called dry paint bottles. And that's not using it. And it's not great, Even though it's a memory thing, you still want to use it. So I'm using it. You're just going to go back and forth until you're satisfied. Now this is mesmerizing work here. This here is about as awesome as it gets. So don't be afraid if your acrylic starts to dry out, gets a little thick. Just make some skins. Okay? And you go one direction and pull. What you don't want to do is mix it. Because if you mix it, you're just going to make a yucky color. It's not going to be pretty. It won't perform well for you, and you're not going to like it. Now I'm going to go this way. And we're going to have some fun. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now, here with the lighting, you're going to see a little glare. But that's okay. Just going to keep sweeping through some areas. And you're going to create a marble texture with this. So what I was saying before was, you're going to want to let this dry for a couple of days. You know, touch the top of it. If your finger comes back, it's okay, but you're going to feel it really spongy if it's still wet underneath. And about the 4th day, you're going to want to pull it off if it's dry and flip it over and let it dry for another day. That's what I did. Now, this is really, I don't know, I get entertained easy, I suppose. But I want to come through here on the outer part, add a little more color to it, because I'm not satisfied with it yet. And like I said, this is your project. You do however you want to do, okay? There's no harm and no foul. See, these are getting kind of chunky, making it a little hard to get some of the paint out, but that doesn't bother me. Not much bothers me in here. This is where I stress less and have a lot of fun. Ooh, let's take a little more of this red. Yeah. That'll work. Now, let's see what we can do. So I do hope you try this with some of your old paints. And it's not expensive because, you know, what is expensive is wasting paint. And this is just another way to have a lot of fun. And if you've been watching tutorials on acrylic pours and things like that, this pretty much works the same way, only it's not as fluid. And if you want to go straight on canvas with it, by all means, go for it. Have all the fun you want. I'm not going to judge you, because that's not fun. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around and just swoosh it like that. Alright, swoosh it. And I'm going to go through here, bring some of that color in there, kind of keep away from the center a little bit. Oh, I'm loving that. It's going to stay that vibrant, however, it's not going to stay shiny because this is a flat-based paint. If you want to do this with shiny, you will have shine, and it will be gorgeous, but you can add that with your glues that you're going to attach it with. Now, I'll show you how to attach and play more with it. There's no problem with that. We're going to play with a few of these this week. And, like I said, it's all about up to you. Now, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. It's just a new way to play with acrylics and have a little fun. I realize you're like, well, that's an expense. But if you think about it, it's more expensive if I let it dry in its tube than it would be if I played with it like this. Okay? So you're going to let it dry for a week. On the 4th day, you're going to turn it over, pull it off, turn it over, let it dry for one more day. Alright? And to store this, now you can cut this in pre-shapes, use wax paper. Now, if you use wax paper, you're going to have, you might be able to pull it off, okay, but parchment paper with the plastic coating would probably be better than wax paper. But if you have a spare craft mat, use that. If you have a Silplat mat that you use for baking, use that. I have one of those as well. But I wanted to have a larger surface to play with. Okay? Now, as for colors, your colors, you can keep your oranges away from your blues and things like that, so you don't make brown. Fairly simple process, a lot of fun. It will level. Now, the other one, the reason why it was bumpy is I deliberately did that texture on purpose. I like that look a lot, and I see a lot of feathers here with the marbling the way that it is. Let me see if I can get this. See the way the marbling is? There? Oh, I love that. I'll turn the light back on. And that, my friends, is called an acrylic skin once it dries. Alright? I'll see you tomorrow. Have a little fun with it. Bless may be in your life. Bless may be on your journey. And thank you for blessing me with your presence. Stay sassy, stay classy, stay you, stay loving. Much love and many hugs to you. I'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye for now.